next, our top story, the tragic story of Sanjay Gulati, the PMC bank depositor who died of a heart attack.
51-year-old Sanjay Gulati, a PMC account holder who, along with his family, had deposits of over 90 lakh rupees with the bank. Last evening, he died after heart attack. Gulati was a Jet Airways employee who lost his job when the airline shut down. His wife says she doesn't know what to do. Of their 2 children, one is special needs child.
फीस के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था देने के लिए. स्पेशल चाइल्ड है, फीस ज़्यादा है, प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था.
Gulati, as friends and family called him, did not have a pre-existing heart condition but was extremely stressed with all his life savings stuck in the bank.
No, even healthy. But shocked, everything stopped. Then I assured him I will help him, but my money also was in the bank.
The Tarapur Garden Society, where Mr. Gulati lived, has about 360 flats. Out of these, 50% of families have deposits in the PMC bank. Even the society's account is in the PMC bank.
प्रॉब्लम इसी से है. मेरे को भी हो सकता है. 71 साल का हूँ. सारा प्रॉब्लम वही है. दूसरा मेरा है. मेरा पूरा अकाउंट है.
When will government get up? When will this RBI get up?
It is a story echoing across Mumbai. Mr. Gulati participated in this protest yesterday, where many came forward with heart-rending stories. Anil Tiwari was banking with PMC for 27 years. His brother needs a kidney transplant, but Tiwari's money is stuck.
I got cardiac, my heartbeat became 32. My heartbeat became 32. Doctor was telling, please don't go in the protest, but I came because my money is stuck.
Kishore is an oral cancer patient, but he cannot take out his own money from the bank for his own treatment.
हो सकता है अगर कल मेरे को केमोथेरेपी या रेडिएशन करना पड़े तो उसके लिए 5-6 लाख रुपया खर्चा है और मेरे पास 5-6 हज़ार रुपया भी नहीं है.
Since its collapse, the PMC bank is being monitored by the Reserve Bank of India. Yesterday, the RBI raised the withdrawal limit for account holders to 40,000 rupees from the earlier withdrawal limit of 25,000 rupees. Sanjay Gulati passed away, but there are many questions that these depositors are asking. Is their money safe? Will they get back their money? Now they want more concrete assurances from the government as well as the RBI. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Thale, Rajendra Dayalkar and Praveen Ji Rohit, this is Purva Chitnis for NDTV.
That situation increasingly desperate. Joining us now, Bernard Pereira, he's a depositor in the bank. Tanisha Jain, also a depositor. We are joined by Bishwajit Bhattacharya. Thanks very much for being with us, a leading banker and former ASG of India. Vivek Reddy, the BJP leader, joins us. We are also joined by Tamal Bandyopadhyay, the author and consulting editor of The Business Editor, and Renu Kohli, the independent economist and former member of RBI, with me in the studio. Thanks, ma'am, very much for being with us. Mr. Pereira, how impossible is it for you increasingly? Can you explain to our viewers how it's increasingly a struggle?
Vishnu, first of all, I want to maintain a few moments of respectful silence for the 2 brave brothers of ours who died in the past 24 hours. It isn't just Mr. Sanjay Gulati, but also Mr. Fatomal Punjabi, who had a heart attack today. So, you know, for us, in the last 24 hours, it's history repeating itself all over again. For the past 11 years, RBI, the government, registrar have ignored all the early warning signals, or chosen to ignore, or have maybe been paid to ignore the early warning signals. And in the past 22 days, the RBI authorities, everyone has ignored the early signals that all of us have been sending out through tweets, through our protests. People are saying they are not able to eat, they are not able to sleep, they are under stress. It's just an accident.
Okay, Bernard, I'm losing your signal. I'll come back to you in a moment, but let me take that across to Tanisha. Tanisha, my question is this. Can you describe for us how it's becoming impossible on a day-to-day basis because you are not able to withdraw more than 40,000 rupees every 6 months?
Actually, it's a hard-earned money, and we have to beg for our own money. It's not the question of whether I'm able to withdraw money. It's my money. I should have a full right to it. It's my year saving life, hard-earned money. So why I have to beg for it, and why government is taking such a long time to come to a decision? Why it is not bailing us out? Why it is not infusing the necessary money needed? They have bailed so many government banks till now, and much larger amount. I mean 76,600 crores as per my knowledge. In comparison to us, this is only 4,500 crores. Now it is like we have already lost 2 people in this battle. You are only, I think, reporting of 1, and many more will come, because nobody can take stress for so long. It's like almost 21 days. We have not been able to eat properly, sleep properly, constantly thinking of ways to get attention from the government so that the government will do something for us. And why we are not getting any answers from RBI? Because it is 100% RBI's fault, negligence, and they have to suffer for that. Why will we suffer? Why what wrong we have done? They have given an A grade to the bank in this very March. You can see the balance sheet. It is showing profits. They have declared 11% dividend. What do they expect? Now each of us should go to the bank and check whether the fraud is taking place.
Okay.
If such a big entity, government entity, cannot detect the fraud, who else will?
No, I think these are all very valid points, and we need to reflect on it. But Bernard, we lost the line with you. My question is this: apart from yourself, can you tell us how others in the bank on a day-to-day basis are now struggling? We've had examples of cancer patients who need chemotherapy but cannot pull out their money. We've heard about how children's school fees cannot be paid. Can you give us, so that people across the country know why it's becoming impossible, how it's becoming impossible? Examples.
Vishnu, there are so many. I know of a person who has gone through a kidney transplant, and he's supposed to be resting. It's just 55 days of his transplant, and he's in the protest begging for his money. He tried to meet the Honorable FM but was denied an audience. We have people whose marriages are being cancelled, who are going through depression. We have people who are depending upon the interest for their retirement, because they are retired and they have no other source of income. We have so many cases, each one is unique, and RBI is asking for proof of your difficulty. How do you quantum the pain that people go through? How can you decide that 50,000 is enough for you for your situation?
40,000. 40,000 is what I'm told, and that's just now.
Yeah, 40,000 for 6 months.
It was 25,000 before this. It was even less before that, right? So it's small relief. It's just effectively a few thousand rupees more a month. That's not good enough for you.
No, that shows that we are going to lose the money.
To a certain standard of living.
Tanisha,
the people are getting scared. The people are getting scared that they might not get their money at all because of this limit, increase in withdrawal limits. You know, because of that, these deaths have taken place, because they are scared they might lose their entire savings. And not people who are coming for the protest have a balance of FDs of 1 lakh above. People with 1 lakh are not concerned because they have insurance. The people who are protesting, who are out on roads, have more than that. Only 10% is there in savings. Rest 90% is in the FDs. And people are having from 3 to 4 to 10, 15, 20, 30. It can go till 5 crores. So are you going to lose that amount? And are you going to be happy with the 40,000 that you give us? Are we beggars?
Yeah. Renu Kohli, a basic question. How do banks insure? How do banks insure deposits? What does the law say about that? Is there a minimum amount of money that is guaranteed? Because the worry if a bank folds or if there is a crisis, because the worry that a lot of people have is they may never see their money. Is there some sort of guarantee that exists?
Yeah, there is a Deposit Insurance Credit and Credit Guarantee Corporation, which is formed by all the banks together. and the insurance is up to 1 lakhs. I think it's 1.5 lakhs now. If
So
I'm
that's
not mistaken.
essentially a joke for people who've got their life savings lost. I mean,
Well, I mean, you know, if you compare across countries, the level of deposit insurance in India is relatively low. As a fraction of per capita income, it's just, I think, about 0.27% relative to 3 or 4% also in some countries. So it is low, and the way it is done is that each banks together contribute a certain sum, and then there is a corpus that is set up and paid out. The thing is that why it gets delayed is that typically a bank which is under a crisis, sometimes it may fail, and it is not clear as of now whether the PMC will either go into liquidation or it will be, you know, salvaged or whatever, because apparently it has a network of branches which are fairly well run,
right,
and in that sense it's quite professional. It has been. So you know, typically the payouts begin once the
it
entity goes into liquidation, which can take very long.
And by payouts, what do you mean?
Meaning the refund, no, the money,
the actual
which is
money
owed to
that
the depositors.
And that can
so
be a very
what can
lengthy
be?
process.
Why
Yes,
it should go into liquidation?
I'm saying that
Can I ask
I didn't
that?
say no.
No, she's not
I'm
saying
saying
that.
that
She's not saying that. I think what she is saying is
Not
the
clear right
circumstances in which this money in a worst case scenario can be recovered, reflecting on your concerns, and we certainly hope nothing of this sort
Because that is the fear
emerges.
most of the depositors are having.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yes,
That's it's a valid fear.
And that is the reason we are losing lives of people, because they are fearing that they will
No,
be
let me get a
this
few
1
more
lakh.
reactions. I want to bring in Vivek Reddy as well. Vivek, this is a humanitarian situation. The government has said that the RBI is responsible, it is accountable, these are RBI rules, but there has obviously been a failure of managing this bank at the level of the RBI and at the level of the state government, which is also supposed to be monitoring how banks in a particular state function. In a situation like this, on a humanitarian basis, isn't the government bound to actually do something? Or does the government just look away?
No, why not they taking responsibility?
One second, I'm asking Vivek Reddy, I'll
It
come
is
to you in
their
a moment.
responsibility.
No, ma'am, I'm trying to get an answer for your question. Vivek, go ahead.
Yes, Vishnu, there are two aspects to this. First of all, why did this bungling happen? Why at all did we reach such a situation? Why at all did we reach this humanitarian crisis? This is the first question. I think one of the reasons that adds up to this is the function of the controller, that is the RBI, which has to be closely assessed vis-a-vis cooperative banks. This is number one. The second thing is the cooperative bank itself has suppressed information to the RBI when the information was asked in 2016, and has also suppressed information in 2018 and tried to manage all these issues through the presentation of dummy accounts. So there has been a fraudulent misrepresentation, basically. This is one aspect as to how this crisis has loomed so large. The second issue is that how are we going to set it right? To set it right, Vishnu, I think first of all what has to be done is to quantify the assets. I don't think we will have to reach the stage of liquidation. We will have to quantify the assets. As of now, the initial indicators are that there are enough assets worth a huge sum of money running to thousands of crores. Now what it is has to be assessed, quantified, and it has to be ensured that these are sold and all the diverted assets are regained, sold, and the amounts are paid back to the depositors.
Okay.
I think on this the government is trying to fast track the process and is trying to ensure that as soon as possible these assets are attached, the lost assets are attached, the securitized assets are sold, and we ensure that the depositors are paid back.
Okay, that's an
and let me
important
assure the depositors, yes, that a full modus operandi will be effectuated to attain this.
Tamal Bandyopadhyay, going forward, is there anything realistically that depositors in the bank can expect? Do we, given the fact that the amount that they could withdraw per 6 months has gone up from I think 10,000 rupees initially to 25,000 to 40,000, is there a sense that there is a waiting period, and in a finite period of time that amount will increase substantially, which will bring relief, or is that hoping too much?
Vishnu, I think my sympathy for all the depositors, and if you have seen, RBI has been gradually raising it from 10,000 to 25,000 to 40,000. and I think this 40,000 limit covers about 77% odd depositors. I have a feel.
No, but the point is this: it's 77% depositors. Tamal,
no,
it's 77% depositors who have that amount of money and no more. They can withdraw this all at once. But for those who earn substantially more, have a different standard of living, to be told that you now need to survive in Mumbai at 6,000 rupees a month is impossible. So the statistic which has been bandied about, that 77% they've got their money, they are safe, that doesn't change the lives of the thousands of people who, you know, who continue to suffer.
Exactly, Vishnu. So the point here is this: no, cooperative bank is a bank for the people with small means. So again, all my sympathy for the depositors who are looking at a very stark face of losing their money. But why would people keep bulk of their money in cooperative banks? I don't understand. I mean, it's not an investment vehicle that for a larger, higher interest you keep your money in cooperative bank. You are treating cooperative bank like a high street bank, which they are not. Cooperative banks are known for their political affiliations, their mismanagement. They are a different kind of animal altogether. So why would anybody in a sense put all their money in a cooperative bank? That's point number one.
There's a response to that.
Just give me a minute, just give me 30 seconds. It's not that, Vishnu, just 30 seconds. It's not that the bank has all the money and it's not giving. You know, the money has gone in the form of loans which have turned bad. So if the bank does not have money, where would the money come from?
No, the law, but I think that really is the issue. Why is the bank giving loans? Why has it exposed itself to this incredible percentage, right? When 73% in a completely in a firm which is now bankrupt. How has that happened in the first place? But Bernard, you had a quick point to make on to the point on why you deposited your money in this bank in the first place.
I just need a minute, okay? The moment someone is giving you a license, that particular entity is supposed to be regulated. That's one. Second, we don't go to this bank for a higher interest rate. You're highly mistaken, okay? Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank has got among the highest service standards compared to even the best private bank. They offer banking from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They offer Sunday banking. They're working 360 days a year. Who doesn't like that convenience when you are working so hard day in and day out and a bank is willing to partner with you with those timings? Now, I'll tell you what the real fear is. It's not about the insurance. The fear is based on past trends, past cases. It drags on for 5-6 years and the depositors get nothing back in return. Today, the government can set an example. The government has a mandate, an overwhelming mandate to create ordinances to push changes effectively overnight. If we are saying that we have already attached properties worth much more than the loan amount, okay, we don't want to wait for 5 or 6 years. Let the government infuse the funds, 4,000, 5,000 crores. Let them follow the legal case and sell those assets.
And that's what I want to ask Mr. Bhattacharya. One second, both of you. Mr. Bhattacharya has been waiting. Your thoughts on the road ahead for a bank in this precarious situation and for all of these depositors?
It's an immediate emergent situation for the President of India to exercise his powers under Article 360 of the Constitution and impose financial emergency. I think the loss of confidence of the depositor in a banking deposit base, which, as you know, India's GDP is 211 trillion US dollars, rupees. I think it has been shaken. I don't want to talk of individual cases. See the expenditure side of the government of India, budgeted for $400 billion, 27,86,000 crores, out of which lakhs of crores are being doled out. How much the government of India has spent to protect these innocent depositors. Whose fault is this? With the innocent depositors' money, havoc is being played. You are creating NPAs with this money. I think this establishment expenditure of the government of India, which is 5,46,000 crores, which is precisely $78 billion, which has been budgeted for, it should be halved. And across the board, I think the Prime Minister must make an announcement that every bank depositors to the last paisa will be protected by the government. Otherwise, Vishnu, I am very disappointed at the level of sensitivity of the people of this country. It's because of your hard-earned money today the entire economy is
standing. I understand your point. I completely.
And we are just saying that this 5 rupees here, 10 rupees there, one bank. This is a entire metamorphosis will have to be
Vivek, you want to reply to that? The point being made over here is that there is a sentiment which goes beyond one bank, and therefore it needs the involvement of the government.
We have already lost 2 lives.
Well, Vishnu, I think the solution of Mr. Bhattacharya that across the board, for all the dupe and fraud that has occurred, in respect of all the other banks, the government should stand guarantee, means, in effect, the taxpayer stands guarantee. I don't think such a thing would be very feasible for the taxpayer, because for people who have gamed the system, for crooked means, we are making the taxpayer liable. I don't think that's the right way. I don't think the taxpayer has to pay for it. This is number one. The second thing is, when there are assets, like in PMC case, when there are assets which can be recovered and it can be made good, then the taxpayer should be the last resort, even in case where there are innocent depositors who have been gamed by these crooks. And therefore, we have to allow the first stage to succeed. We have to allow and ensure that the assets which are securitized and the assets which have been diverted are pulled together, sold, and the depositors repaid, and then we have to see what is the balance that remains.
Yeah.
That is how we assess the risk of PMC Bank.
One final question to both you, Bernard, and to Tanisha. Let me come to you first, Tanisha. Are you a professional? Do you earn? Are you working somewhere, Tanisha?
No, I am a homemaker.
You are a homemaker.
I am a homemaker. My husband earns.
And does he have funds in another bank?
Yeah, we have, but these are my lifetime savings.
Okay. And
I would lose 10 years of my savings if I lose this amount.
I completely understand.
And I have invested in this bank because it is a scheduled bank. It is a scheduled bank. You are just mentioning cooperative. I just read scheduled and I googled and it was like it is governed by RBI. So I had the faith in RBI. Now I can't have faith in RBI because RBI itself, it's a big fraud. Because such a big fraud can't take place without the RBI officials. They should be scrutinized. Are they being scrutinized? Are the auditors arrested? Why the directors have not been arrested till now? No, only one chairman has been arrested. No director has been arrested. No auditors, CAs have been arrested. Who is doing the scrutiny of the RBI officials? They are corrupt to the highest level. They are the ones who have done the scam. They are the fraud people. I put the entire blame on RBI.
Look,
and we shouldn't bear for their fraud.
No, I don't think anybody should pay for anybody's fraud. And
we are the taxpayers, honest people. We have to bear for their frauds.
That you've suffered
so
in the manner that you have
biggest
suffered.
Amount of injustice.
But I think in a situation like this, let's all hope that somehow or the other your funds are safe and be accessible in a finite period of time.
They can bring new regulations. It's high time they change the regulations.
I need to wrap this up.
Because I don't trust government banks. I don't like government banks. They suck.
Tanisha, I don't.
That is being done by the RBI now.
Tanisha, one moment. I understand how difficult it is for you, and I assure you that we will try and follow up on this story and keep it alive in the media to try and bear pressure on someone to ensure that your money is secure. Let's hope that happens in the future. I'd like to thank you all very much for joining us.